personally meaningful. Example, nurses pay more attention to stuff that affects nurses compared to stuff that affects accountants. C, celebrity.
No.
Including prominent people, celebrities, authorities, etc. Example, normally we wouldn't care about what another human has for breakfast every day. But if it's Jeff Bezos's, we do. Since he's a celebrity, many people care. D, proximity. Close to home geographically. Example, a house on fire across the country doesn't get your attention. If it's your neighbor, it sure does. Make it as close to home as possible. E, conflict. Of opposing ideas, opposing people, nature, etc. Example, pineapple versus no pineapple on pizza. Conflict. Example 2, good versus evil, hero versus villain, left versus right. Example 3, freedom versus security, justice versus mercy. You get the idea. F, unusual, odd, unique, rare, bizarre. Example, think of a six-fingered man at the old-time circuses. If it's outside of the norm, people pay more attention. G, ongoing. Stories still in progress.
We're gonna do calm day for 2 hours. Sorry.
Example, if someone goes into labor, people want updates every 10 minutes because anything could happen. Action step. Include one or more of these components to give yourself meatier, attention-grabbing headlines. Format. Once we have a good topic and communicate it with the headline, using one or more components, we need to match our format to the best content on the platform. People consume content because it's similar stuff they've liked in the past, and matching the popular format of the platform gets the most people to interact with it. So we want to make our content look like the stuff they've found before. Format example. Since you're listening on audio, I display a meme that went viral a few years ago with LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Tinder, all images of the same people formatted in different ways contextual to the platform. People display themselves on each platform.
Yeah.
Back to the text. This meme communicates the point better than I can with words. All 4 images above are, well, images, but they have a different look and feel. This is because formatting depends on the audience you want to hook and the platform your audience is on. Bottom line, you've got to make your content look like what they expect will reward them. Otherwise, no matter how good it is, better looking content will hook them before yours even have a chance. Action step. Format your content for the platform first, then tweak it so it hooks your ideal audience. Use the best content on the platform that targets your market as your guide. This concludes the hook step of our content unit. Always following these basics will already put you in the top 1%, at least it has for me. 2, retain. My favorite driver of retention is format. It's my favorite because it has helped me keep me around for years. People want to know what happens next. For example, I get messages daily, for years, about when I will release my next book on sales. My favorite way to get the audience curious is to embed questions in their mind. Unresolved questions can be explicit or ambiguous. You can directly ask the question and reply. My 3 favorite ways to embed questions are lists, steps, and stories. List your favorites, facts, tips, opinions, ideas, and some things that are one after the other. Good list and great content also follow a theme. Think of the top 10 mistakes.
Should we go downtown, Champaign? Yeah, we're gonna go downtown. My bad.
Example, 7 ways I invested $1,000 in my 20s that paid off later. Example, 28 ways to stay poor. Example, a content unit has 3 pieces.
218. Hopefully get like around 300.
Provided that early steps were clear and valuable, the person will want to know how to
If I could get 300, I'd be good.
Example, 3 steps.
Maybe just an hour and a half to probably 2 hours.
Steps and lists. Steps are actions that must be done in a specific order to get a result. So steps are less flexible but have a bit more explicit reward. Lists can have just about anything on them in any order you want. So lists are more flexible but have less explicit reward. C. Stories. Stories describe events, real or imaginary. And stories worth telling often have some lesson or takeaway for the listener. You can tell stories about things that have happened, might happen, or will never happen. All 3 drive curiosity because people want to know what happens next. Example, almost every chapter in this book is a story. Example, my editor made me do 19 drafts of this book. Here's what I did to him. Ha. Example, my journey from sleeping on the bottom floor of a gym to the top floor of a 5-star hotel. You can use lists, steps, and stories on their own or interweave them. For example, you can have lists within steps and a story about each list item. You can have stories to reinforce the value of a step. You can have a list of stories or many ongoing storyline, etc. Your creativity is the only limit here. That's why people make a lot of content call themselves creators. This chapter, for example, has lists within steps and stories interweaved. Action step. Use lists, steps, and stories to keep your audience curious. Embed questions in their minds to make them want to know what happens next. 3. Reward. Anyone can think of cool hooks and organize their content using lists, steps, or stories. But the real question is it good? Does it satisfy the reason they watch to begin with? Does it make people want to share it? How good your content is depends on how often it rewards your audience and the time it takes them to consume it. Think value per second. For example, the same person who gets bored 3 seconds into a 10-second video may also binge a 900-page book, and that same person may binge a television series for 8 hours straight. So there's no such thing as too long or too boring. Now, we can't guarantee a specific reward, but we can increase the chance reward happens by hooking the right audience with proper topics, headlines, and formatting, retaining them with lists, steps, and stories to get them curious and wanting to learn, clearly satisfying the reason the content hooked them to begin with. Example, if your hook promises 7 ways to make up with your spouse, and you give A, 4 ways, B, 7 ways that stunk or that they've heard before, or C, you're talking to a room full of single guys who don't have spouses, you did a bad job of rewarding. People will not want to watch again, and certainly won't share it. Example, if your hook promises 4 marketing strategies dentists can use, and they can't use them, they will not share it or watch your content in the future. You did a bad job of rewarding. Bottom line, I've had tons of content I thought would smash records, but the audience smashed the next button instead. So no matter how good you think your content is, the audience decides. Rewarding your audience means matching or exceeding their expectations when they decided to consume your content. Here's how you know if you succeeded. Your audience grows. If it's not growing, your stuff isn't that good. Practice and you'll get better. Action step. Provide more value than anyone else. Make good on your promises. Clearly satisfy the hook you use to get their attention. In other words, completely answer the unresolved questions you embedded in their minds. So what's the difference between short and long form content? Answer, not much. If you recall from earlier, the smallest amount of material it takes to hook, retain, and reward attention is a content unit. So to create a longer piece of content, we simply link content units together. For example, a single step in a 5-step list might be a content unit. When we link all 5 together, we have a longer piece of content. Here's a visual to drive it home. For anyone who's listening, it's just hook, retain, reward, cycled over and over and over again. Shorter content hooks retains rewards fewer times.
There's a lot of people.
More times.
There's a
And doing
bird.
it more times takes more skill because you have to string more good content units in a row. For example, a new comedian will typically only get a few minutes on stage to perform their bit. Only a master comic gets an hour. It takes practice to reward attention just often enough to keep it for that long. So, start small, then build from there. Even if you start with longer content, which is fine, I suggest starting with shorter versions. You'll have an easier go of it. Many successful authors with epic-length novels started by writing, you guessed it, short stories. Pro tip, make all your content for strangers. This is important. Pay attention. If you want to grow your world, then you need to make content assuming that people
no more than 2 hours of this content.
If you make it for strangers, then strangers will like it because you made it for them, and they'll share it, and your audience will grow that much faster. And consider the alternative. You litter your content with inside jokes that no one gets besides your audience. Cool for you guys, but no one else will feel welcome, and your audience growth will slow down. This is one of the most common mistakes I see content creators make, so don't make it. So make every piece of content assuming the person has never heard of you before. And everyone already knows you won't mind. They'll appreciate the reminders. Once you understand how to make a content unit, all you have to do is more. Then your audience will grow. And once your audience grows big enough, you may want to monetize them. I had too much to say to fit in one chapter, so we'll talk about how to monetize the audience in the next one. I'll see you there. Post-free content part 2. Monetize your audience. Give until they ask. The point of this chapter is to show you how to monetize your warm audience. First, we talk about how we can make offers and not be a spam monster, mastering the give to ask ratio. Then we'll talk about the 2 offer strategies to monetize the audience. After that, I'll talk about how to scale your output so you can grow a bigger audience faster and make even more money. Then I'll share a bunch of lessons I've learned in building my own audience that I wish I'd known sooner. Finally, I'll wrap this up with how you can take action on everything today.
Wasn't Alex Harmony?
Give to ask ratio. Gary Vaynerchuk popularized jab, 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 right hook. It simplifies the idea of giving to your audience many times before making an ask. You deposit goodwill with rewarding content, then withdraw from it by making offers. When you deposit goodwill, your
Yo, I don't want to bore you guys with the audiobook, so I'm just gonna listen to it in my ear. Oh my goodness, these are so dirty. Ah. Damn. They're really dirty. My bad, guys. Yeah. Okay. Damn, we went through that quick. We're good to go. Okay. It's Bell's Route coming in. So what we're gonna do is auto catcher and listen to an audiobook. Ooh. Is it? I'm probably gonna do 2 hours. Whatever. We're no one there. I like going downtown and looking at empty buildings where there used to be like businesses, parking's there. They're like permanent parking only, but business closed, so they're not checking up on it. That's insane. Ultra mower. too. Hard top of blue. I can't battle right now. It's calm day.